yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Born and dead, saved by love, count my blessings from above. Though in darkness, have no fear. Light will shine on those holding near. They know that sorrow they will pass. For I know in this life there will be something. But remember that love, yes it will. Love will reign. Yeah. Love will reign. Yeah. In my heart, I believe it. Love will reign. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Have a vision, it's clear and plain. People living life, smiling again. Oh, see the children, they know no pain. Far from pressure, stress and strain. Oh, sorrow, they will pass. For I know in this life there's gonna be some pain. But remember that love, yes it will. I know. Yeah. Love will reign. Gotta believe it. In my heart, I truly believe. Sun will shine again. And love, I can hardly wait. We'll all be together. There'll be peace, peace, sweet peace, happiness and joy. Oh, yeah. One day, someday, hate will be over and love will reign. They won't last, for I know in this life there's gonna be some pain. But in the end, love will reign. Yeah.
Love will reign. We're excited to be again here with you as Tuesday is our day for the Love and Stuff Community Show. It's live, emanating here from the Love and Stuff community page on Facebook, the Marcus Our Homes page, and all of the love groups and wonderful groups attached. And we are excited to be on LinkedIn Live tonight, on Twitch TV, on Twitter, and YouTube events as we close out our celebration of a month-long celebration for Women's History Month. It is not lost on me as the founder and facilitator of all things love in the Love and Stuff community that we are 77% women. And so even with the 23% men, brothers, we got a mother, a sister, a grandma, a grandtie, a TT, someone who we admire and who has helped to bring great community, great service to our world. And so we are celebrating women in Women's History Month. And in this month, we're telling a little bit of the stories of great women. And thank you for joining us, those that are joining us across platforms. We decided tonight that we will look around Love and Stuff and on the periphery of Love and Stuff and talk to some women about the power of sisterhood. You might remember a couple of shows ago, we talked about two pretty important sisters and read from their personal journey, but we wanted to touch some personal people in and around Love and Stuff who have stories of sisterhood, whether it is a formal sisterhood, such as a sorority or Eastern Stars of a Masonic order, or a professional business organization, or just a sister circle. We wanted to celebrate the power of sisterhood and talk about how it has impacted our world. And so we have some dynamic women who are going to join me very shortly from many different organizations. And I'm not going to mess up a single name because I'm going to mix them up. And so I am going to foray right into the first group. But before we do that, I want you to take a moment, whether you're watching us live on LinkedIn Live or you're on Twitch TV, YouTube events. Thank you for chiming in. Those of you that are across platforms, I hope you will do one thing for us right now. Click share. Tag 5 of your closest friends, connections, subscribers, or followers, 5 of the more popular ones to join in the celebration as we close out what we will call our formal celebration of Women's History Month. We know women are making history all year long, and we know they are business women and owners, they are CEOs and mothers, they are in clergy persons and attorneys. They are in every facet of the world, and they have literally helped to build our world. So we want to certainly celebrate and laud them.
Good evening. I am Dr. Marita Austin Williams, a member of Rho Sigma Sorority Incorporated, the Rho Sigma chapter. And we also have, Gay, you want to come off mute and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Gay Johnson from Rho Sigma chapter. I am the Sergeant at Arms for our Rho Sigma chapter of Detroit.
Okay. And can we have you come on, Philo?
Good evening. I am Philo Karan Rice from the Philo affiliate of Rho Sigma Gamma Rho sorority.
All right. So we want to just welcome everyone to this wonderful short time that we have to just share with you. We're asked by a good friend of mine, Marcus Holmes, to share about sisterhood and what it means to me or to us. So let me just give you a short background about Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. We are celebrating 100 years. We were founded 100 years ago, November the 12th, 1922, in Indianapolis, Indiana, at Butler University. We are the only sorority that was founded on a predominantly white institution, and we were a little bit different. When we were founded, our 7 founders actually were meeting right down the street from the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. So they established this wonderful sorority right down in the midst of being surrounded by the Ku Klux Klan. And we're founded by 7 school teachers. Our focus is on women, education, children. And I'm trying to go fast because I know we only have 10 minutes, and I lost some time because I didn't know we were live yet.
That's all right. Keep rolling. Keep rolling.
But I also want to tell you a little bit about the sisterhood, what sisterhood means to me. I came into this wonderful sorority in 1983, April the 15th. So next month I will be in the sorority 40 years. I am a Ruby member as well as a Life member. A Life member 1397. I am also a Legacy. I found out as I was going through the process that my grandmother was a Sigma. And it was wonderful to know that. She was already deceased, but to be able to come in and be a legacy for her. The sisterhood that I felt then, when I came in, the entire grad chapter came out for my coming into the sorority. Not only did the grad chapter came out, but we also had undergrads from all over. So it was a wonderful experience, that sisterhood. In the grad chapter, they came out because they knew my grandmother. So they didn't know me from Eve. So they came out to support me because of my grandmother and the love they had for my grandmother. So that was a wonderful feeling for me. The feeling to have all those sisters in the room. I am the only girl. I don't have any sisters in my family, but I have many sisters in my family now. So it's just a wonderful feeling. And I'm gonna go to Gay next, and then I'm gonna go to you, Harry. Okay. So if you can share.
My time is at 8:50. I thought.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready for me?
Gay.
You ready for me, Marita?
Yes, Gay.
Okay, hi, my name is Gay Johnson. I joined Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated spring 2017. I pledged undergrad at Xi Upsilon, which is the metropolitan chapters of Detroit, and transferred over to Rho Sigma chapter in September 2017. The reason why I joined the sorority is because of the realness, the closeness, the wanting you to belong, not for looks, prestige, numbers, anything like that, just being a true sister, wanting to get to know you, wanting you to be a part of this marvelous sorority. I, like Marita, I am the only girl. I'm the youngest, don't have any sisters, have all brothers. So I did get a chance to, I should say, get more sisters. Might not be by blood, but it's through sisterhood. And my experience has been wonderful. I met a lot of sisters from all over, and being able to, the skills that I acquired, not in undergrad or at work, but being able to use my skills within the sorority to just edify the sorority and just make the sorority much more loving than what it already is.
Thank you, Gay. Within Sigma Gamma Rho sorority, we have activities and affiliates that covers the spectrum. So we have our Rosebuds, who are our young girls, our elementary school girls, and we also have our Roars, they're middle school and high school girls. We have our Philos, who are affiliates, our women that have not graduated or have never been to college, but they want to be a support to us. And that is a wonderful feeling. So we're one big happy family. At Rho Sigma, we have all of the affiliates, the Rosebuds, the Roars, we have our Philos. And we just came back. A lot of them are probably tired. They just came back from regionals that was held in Illinois this past weekend. So a lot of people are busy, but I am never too busy to talk about Sigma Gamma Rho. We are very interested in, making sure that we have scholarships. So if you go by our Facebook page, Rho Sigma's Facebook page, you'll see that we have some information out there for scholarships that are available for high school, college, and grad students. You have until April the 1st, I do believe, to complete the application and turn it in. So we would love to be able to share some money with individuals. We also focus on doing STEAM projects through Rho Sigma has a foundation. Our particular chapter has a foundation. So I'm one of the directors on that foundation. And part of what we do is we do different things within the community. Right now, one of our main focus is women, and we're also dealing with mental health of our young people. So also on that Facebook page, you will find information about youth mental health first aid that we're doing free to the community for individuals. And if you sign up for that, you're able to take the course, and it's a 1-day course. Once you complete it and pass it, then you will have a 3-year certificate to provide youth mental health first aid. And that's a way for us to give back to the community, especially the way that nowadays, the times, just with shootings that are going on and the things that our children are going through. So this one is particularly focused on adolescents. We also have our Swim 1922, because one of the things that we have experienced, and we know that a lot of African Americans do not know how to swim, and they have deceased from drowning because the lack of knowing how to swim. But we are making it so that we're able to train people to learn how to swim. We bring in some of our sworers that are actually Olympic swimmers. And we do this once a year here, but it's a international community project that we do. And so each chapter does one. And so we'll be having one later on this year. So we hope to see some of you all there at that. And I am not sure, because I think I see the next host come in.
Yes.
So I'm
Can
not
you
sure
hear
if
me?
my time is up or not, Marcus.
Can
Let
you hear
me know. And I can go ahead and let Jalitha and Gwen Patrick in. I'm not sure if they're the next people.
Yes. Can you hear me? Because I can hear you, but can you hear me?
And once again, thank you for allowing us to have this time to speak with you. And we'll be back. Well, at least our Philo will be back a little bit later to talk to everyone.
All right. Can you hear me?
So Jalitha, are you the next one?
Yes, I believe so. Excuse the noise because I'm at praise team rehearsal.
Oh, okay.
I'm at praise team rehearsal, so I was trying to sneak off quick.
I understand that. I do. My husband's downstairs practicing now because he's a church musician.
Okay.
All right. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and make you the host. Okay.
Okay. Because I don't have any slides. Did I need slides? I was just going to talk.
You can just talk.
Okay.
All right. Can you hear me? All right. Can you hear me?
So I made you host, Jalitha.
Okay.
All right. Now,
Jalitha,
do you
can
want
you
us
hear
to
me?
stay on, or we can drop off? It's up to you.
It doesn't matter. I'm going to give you what I know.
All
Jalitha,
right. I'll
can you
stay
hear
here
me?
to support you a little bit.
Thank
Okay.
you, man. Thank you.
All right.
Hi. And I'm in the Gamma Phi Delta sorority, Beta Alpha chapter. We are part of the Greek, but we're not the Divine Nine. We are a business sorority. Gamma Phi Delta sorority was founded in February 1943 at Lewis Business College. The founder was Elizabeth Garner and co-founder Violet T. Lewis. Violet T. Lewis was the president of the college. Elizabeth Garner and Violet T. Lewis were blood sisters. And our headquarters is at 2657 West Grand Boulevard in Detroit, Michigan. It's actually, I would say, across the street or diagonally across the street from the Motown Museum. It's where our headquarters is. And with west off of Grand Boulevard is considered as the African American Arts and Business Historic District, designated by the city of Detroit or ordinance signed at 8/15/18. It originated with 26 chartered pearls. This is my first year in this organization, and I will say that I love it to the hilt. Our sorority colors are baby pink and baby blue. And I actually graduated from Lewis College of Business with my associate's degree in computer information. So that's why it holds near dear to me, because I actually graduated from there, as well as I was an instructor there when it was open. And I think a year or two, a young man decided to reopen Lewis College of Business, but it's going to be at this time where you can create your own gym shoes. It's been on the news several times where you can design your own gym shoes. And from there, once that gets going, then he's going to open it back up to a business school as well.
Awesome.
Is there any questions?
So can you hear me?
I have a question. I just wonder if you know a person, Marissa Pryor.
Yes,
Her
I do.
sounds familiar.
Yeah, I know Marissa. Hi, I'm
Yeah.
Sora Gwen Patrick. I'm also part of Beta Alpha. Jalita came in under us, and I've been with the sorority for 8 years now. So I let Jalita do all the talking because Jalita is our superstar right now. So I'm letting her shine.
Great.
And also, I didn't mention as well as, because we're not a Divine Nine, you can be a Divine Nine and also be in Gamma Phi Delta as well.
Okay. That's good information to know. I knew that. I know quite a few individuals. Yolanda Day, Lawana Williams, who just came in, Rho Sigma. Gail, what's Gail's last name now? I can't think of Gail's last name right now, but quite a few. So
Yolanda Day, actually, she and I both were debutantes for Gamma Phi Delta back when we were in high school. And then we both became sorors.
Oh, great. Nice. That's wonderful. That's the thing about these sisterhoods. You know what I'm saying? These sisterhoods carry over, not just within your own org, but it carries over everywhere. You know this person and that person, but we as sisters together, we all are doing things to help improve the betterment of African Americans. And when we improve our space, that automatically helps improve everybody else around us. And so when we show that love towards each other and the support for each other, no matter whether you're Divine Nine or not, just being supportive to sisters is a beautiful thing. It doesn't have to be how sometimes people say, well, when you get all these women together, all they're going to do is tear each other up. But that's not necessarily the case. We just continue to support each other. I love mentoring women. I myself am a clinical psychologist. And so I love mentoring folks going for their doctorates. So that's a beautiful thing. I see Marcus coming on, so maybe I'm not sure if we're doing things right.
So if anyone may be interested in getting into our organization, you can feel free to contact us. Because again, you could be a Divine Nine and still be in our chapter.
Okay.
Put in that chat how someone can reach out to you or your organization.
You can contact me at on Facebook.
You put it in the chat.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Same with us. You can reach out to us if you're interested in joining Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. And as long as you're not in one of the Divine Nines, you can join us. And we're open to anyone that's graduated from a 4-year college. Or you can be a philo. So if you have any young ones, Royals or Rosebuds as well. So I'm going to put our information in the chat, our membership chair. We can't hear you, Marcus.
I wanted to pop into the Zoom. It dawned on me that if you don't have both devices going, you won't be able to hear me if I'm not inside of the Zoom, right?
Right.
And so I wanted to ask, before those of you that have come and talked already before you leave, I want you to talk a little bit about the power of that sisterhood. I know you did some, Dr. Marita, but I want you to talk a little bit more as we're closing out Women's History Month. It isn't lost on me that there are some phenomenal women in the Love and Stuff community. What women do you look to whose shoulders you all stand on that really embodies the power of sisterhood? And I think Lori Wesby should be joining us if she's not already. I see her in the comments, so I don't know if she's in the room because Evangelist Karan is helping me to moderate as I go back and forth to do the commercials.
Yeah, I didn't see her name pop in.
Okay, I saw her come inside of the chat on the
Here, she's coming in now.
She's coming now.
Fantastic.
Uh-oh.
So as she's coming, are there women whose names you speak, whose shoulders you stand on, that embody, that are the epitome of sisterhood? Who are they?
Well, for me, I have to say specifically, in this is me personally, I look towards my family first.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom, who was there and supportive always in everything that I did. When I started my journey on my doctorate, and I was like, because I was turned down first. And my mom said, well, no, we gonna fight this. So we know you have the skills to do this. And so I wrote a rebuttal letter to them saying, you will accept me because of, and then I went to African-American women and said, okay, I need you to write me a recommendation or a support letter. And once they were flooded with those, they opened up their doors. And this was Center for Humanistic Studies, which was located right across from Merle Palmer by Wayne State University. Very
I think the host forgot she was the host. We're live. And hopefully we can get them back. We will be right back. This is Love and Stuff's celebration of Women's History Month, the power of sisterhood. You're hearing from sisters who all can tell you about the power of sisterhood. And I believe we are, yes. All right, fantastic. We will see if we can get them back. We'll be right back after this break while you will click share, tag someone to join us in this time now. What you wear says something about you. Because I think about who you are, what you believe, and what you stand for. So here in the Love and Stuff community, we wear the brand that we live, and we live the brand that we wear because we love the brand. It's all about increasing the amount of love in the world and upping our love game. And if that's what you're about, you should wear it too. You should live the brand you wear the brand you live, and love the brand. And we'll have an opportunity. We'll take an opportunity just a moment now to show you some of the wonderful things that you can purchase. And of course, because it's 77% of women the women love all of the products that we have. And this is one of our top sellers. It's a women's long sleeve performance V-neck. And it's all about the gratefulness journey every day. Now, 35% of net proceeds go toward helping those that may be experiencing disaster, need disaster relief, or some catastrophic incident that's occurring in their lives, people that need scholarship and books and all of those types of things. So 35% of the net proceeds go toward that. And I want to make sure that we share with you the various things that are available to you now. While we had a little bit of technical difficulty, we're going to get our guests back, I promise you. And we really appreciate having all of them take out time from their busy schedule. That's another one of our top sellers in the Love and Stuff community, which you are seeing right now. All you have to do is scan the code. It's available to you right now. And you can wear the brand, live the brand, love the brand. We hope that you will love the brand. And that is our moisture absorbing long sleeve. So if you're a workout person, that's the item for you. We got to show you our mainstay item, which is our unisex jersey short sleeve Love and Stuff t-shirt. We love this t-shirt that was designed for us exclusively for Love and Stuff. And maybe a little later, we'll get a chance to tell you a little bit about how that came about. We're so excited to be able to have it. So I hope that you will click on it. Just scan the link. It's yours to have. You can have it shipped directly to you. All right, we're going to segue. All right, we show the moisture absorbing one. We still have crew necks, of course, are available. Those will be soon going on a slight sale for you. We've got the Gratefulness Journey Everyday t-shirt dress. This is showing you the back of that t-shirt dress, as well as the Love Over Racism brand and series. And I am trying to help them get back in. All right. Okay. Because it is not going to let us take them back live in that way. All right. So we're excited to have them here, and we will give it another second while they're doing that. So these are just some options, some opportunity. The women's performance long sleeve from our Let Love Be Like a Pandemic. Yep. We got some joining us here. Fantastic. Hopefully others will soon join. And we will come back with a few more of these items that you can scan and order by holding your phone up to the QR code and scanning. All right. Dr. Marita?
Yes.
I hear you, but I don't see you. So you got to turn your camera on.
Camera is, hold on a second.
Yep. And you can exit out of that Zoom.
The Zoom?
Yep. So everybody can exit from the Zoom and click on that other link. It'll bring you here.
Go to the chat and just click on the link.
Yep. All right.
Okay. No echo?
None, but no picture. And the reason it's
Did I come?
There it is. All right. Okay. I'm looking at Lori Wesby in the Zoom, and Lori, click on that link and it'll bring you over to here. We got to switch because Jalitha didn't realize she was hosting and she booted us all out. We love her so much.
No, that's what happened.
That's what happened. Okay. We love her so much. All right.
So I got to click this link in the chat?
Yes, please. So everybody click that link and come on this way so I can get all of these fantastic women. These are some amazing women. I feel so honored because I'm a brother, but I had some amazing sisters and they're in heaven. But these are some amazing sisters and friends, sister friends. And so I don't think that I can do justice to tell you about the power of sisterhood like sisters can. And that's why I thought it's important. A lot of times we see in TV and media where women are catty toward each other. I wanted to celebrate the power of sisterhood because that's not everybody's story. I'm not saying some of that stuff isn't real, but some of the reality TV stuff just ain't how the rest of the world lives, right? I wanted to make this place an opportunity in Women's History Month for you to see fantastic women who are tuned in to the Power of Sisterhood. I'm having too much fun here. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna pose that question that I was talking to Marita about, Dr. Marita, and thank you, Evangelist Karan Rice, and thank you, Lori Wesby, and thank you. I'm seeing the bottom of Bridget's head. Thank you, Bridget Lamar Jackson, because we have AKAs, Sigma, and I can't. You can help me, Karan, to know which. If I'm saying Sigma, Gamma, Sigma, I get it wrong. And I know that Bridget is a Delta. And I want to ask the question again: who are the women, or who is the sister or woman whose shoulders on which you stand? Who is the epitome of the power of sisterhood? Who is that?
For me personally, it's a young lady by the name of Marquita Prim, who was a Sigma Gamma Rho member. She's now passed since COVID, but it was due to us being spiritual sisters from the AME church that she believed in my calling as an evangelist, and she opened up her pulpit to allow me an opportunity to speak when God had first called me as an evangelist. And so when she passed, and I attended her services, the service that the Sigmas put on, the memorial for her, moved my spirit so much that I said, I have to be a part of that. But because I'm an undergraduate with an associate's degree and I haven't completed my bachelor's, I couldn't become a full-fledged Sigma. So I am proud to be their friend, which is called a Philo. And I can't tell that I'm not a Sigma because they love on us just as though we were full-fledged Sigmas. We are gracious and merciful to be able to be a part of their initiatives in the community, working with women in the initiatives that my friend spoke of earlier. And so I've always had desires of being a part of a sorority and never knew how. And so I truly believe that God opened that door for me to become a part of this sisterhood. And I am the youngest, and I have 3 older sisters, one who's gone on to glory now. But the bond that I have developed with some of these other sisters, and I think the unity, because we care about other people than ourselves, and want to do work in the community. And that brought us together through the Philo organization, through Sigma Gamma Rho, has made it a greater impact and sisterhood on me. So I stand on those shoulders of Marquita Prim, who stood on other shoulders, as my friend so eloquently spoke of earlier, the women who had to stand in the face of the Ku Klux Klan, and to make this illustrious organization. And I am proud also to say I know some AKAs and other people and other auxiliaries, and they are beautiful women. And I'm glad to just know now that I know women that's standing on some great shoulders of other women, and I'm just a crumb in the middle, and I'm
And I
blessed.
know I better jump in because you'll preach in a minute. I
I'm
heard
sorry.
you.
Want my help coming? Come on.
You're trying to tune up. I'm just a crumb. And so watch your voice. Watch your voice. And speaking of beautiful women, Lori Wesby, whom I adore, who is a phenomenal mind and conduit in our community for women in business, which is why I'm so honored that you were able to be here among all of you. I'm honored to have all of you because you're on or around the periphery of love and stuff. So I feel so honored. But I know that you are doing work in our community to help women start their businesses, get their businesses, scale their businesses. And I just think that you're an amazing person doing amazing work. And so I want to ask you, whose shoulders are you standing on? Because you got some shoulders that now these younger women, not that you're not a young woman, but we got younger women standing, looking at you saying, I want to be like Lori Wesby. So who do you say that about, or did you say?
Well, I'll take it back. Obviously, my mother, the foundation of everything that I am. She introduced me to. She and my father introduced me to the Lord, so start with that. And I was surrounded by so many powerful women in their careers, in church, in community, in other social organizations. And I'll say coincidentally, but not coincidentally, these women all happen to be women of Alpha Kappa Alpha. And they didn't, and what I loved about it the most is I grew up surrounded by that influence, but these women were so classy and elegant and sophisticated. They did not, today you see so much paraphernalia. You see everybody's dressed and dripped and everything. They let the work that they did, they let the service speak. I grew up serving. And so it just was a natural progression for me. And of course, having my mother, my sister is also, I have a sister. So I heard someone say that they didn't have any sisters. And so they gained so many by joining and becoming a part of their sororities and other organizations. And it's a beautiful thing. I don't care how you acquire your sisters, they're your sisters. Having been with one since birth, we learned how to love, how to share, how to give, how to support, how to lead, how to support, how to encourage, how to check, how to correct. We learned all of these things growing up. And so it just was a transition into sorority life, because you do all of those things in love with your sisters. You have to check each other sometimes. You have to lift each other up, support each other, have their back, make sure they're push them to greater heights. Step outside your comfort zone. We got you. That's the kind of thing that grows you as a person. And so I have benefited from all of those experiences of sisterhood. Being a part of AKA, which is the first Black sorority, the first sorority incorporated in 1913. We've been on the forefront of a lot of things that have impacted our community at large. We're still doing those things with our sister organizations, with the Sigma Gamma Rho's, with Zeta Phi Beta, with Delta Sigma Theta, and I know G was on earlier with, is it Gamma Phi Delta? So yes, we're all in this together. And that's what I love. When we come together, we have our little friendly rivalries. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But we also know that when it comes down to taking care of business, we do that. We stand up for each other. We come together when it matters, as we came together, politically, to see our soror in the White House. That's major. That's major for all of us. It's not just major for AK, it's major for all of us. And it took all of us together collectively to make that happen. So I stand on broad shoulders. I stand on broad shoulders. I'm grateful.
That was a great segue, because I was going to ask each of you, I promise you I was, about Madam Vice President. And I was going to ask you what did that feel like? I remember when President Barack Obama became president and my dad was alive.
Yes.
Tell this story. My dad just kept staring in the screen, and I said, "Daddy, what's wrong?" He was like, "Well, sir," he always would say, "Sir, I thought I'd never see it in my lifetime." He said, "I told you can be anything."
Right.
And I was good and grown then, and I burst into tears.
I cried
of what it meant. It meant a lot to me, but what it meant to him. I mean, he looked at the screen like it was like, he could put his hand in the screen. It was so unreal to him. And so I wondered what that feeling was for you all as sisters in an organization, and as Lori said, across organizations, right? What does that mean to the sisterhood? What did that mean to you?
I believe that, to me, it meant that anything is obtainable, and that it wasn't just one person or one group that propelled her there. It was all of us coming together. And it was not just the sororities. It was just Black people as well. It was African Americans as a whole. So to be able to look at that White House and see us in there again, because you got to say that we were there again. It wasn't a Barack, but it was her, And so it just sends this like we can do anything and we can be anything.
Mhm.
And it shows our young people that no matter where you come from, that if you keep going, you can make it there. And if we continue to encourage and stop trying to tear ourselves down and to continue to lift us up as a people, you got to go back. You got to reach back, grab them, and bring them up with you. I know I was talking when we got lost that whose shoulders I stand on is my mom's. My mom encouraged me to do everything. She told me I can be anything. And then the work that my grandmother did. My grandmother was a school teacher, and what she did was she came from Virginia. And she came up here, and as a school teacher, she pulled in the Black school teachers that came up here to go to college. They came to our house, and she sat them down, and they learned at her feet. So my house was the stopping place for a lot of school teachers. I live right down the street from Central, Roosevelt, and Durfee. And so my teachers would come to my house for lunch. So it was no getting away with nothing because they were great friends.
Well, my parents were educators too. So
right. And so
it
was that kind of feeling that, she was this matriarch, not just for us, but for all these teachers that flocked to be with her. And then my other person that I stand on shoulders is Rochelle Tucker Anderson. Well, Rochelle Anderson Tucker. And that's the person that taught me how to sign. She got me to working with the deaf and the hard of hearing. And I became a psychologist, a clinical psychologist because of her. And specifically my major was clinical psychology and deaf and hard of hearing studies. So she pushed me in that way. So if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here today doing what I do today. Reaching out to the deaf and hard of hearing community, interpreting, setting up deaf ministries all over the place, just doing that. It was because of her the need of deaf people and her wanting to help them made me who I am. Wonderful. And so that's beautiful. And she's an AKA. So okay. I love her for that.
Yes.
So
I'm going to pivot to Karan because I want to double back to that question that I was asking, though I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I didn't hear that part about your grandmother, so I'm learning new stuff about you. So thank you for that. Karan, the vice president, when she became vice president, what did that do for you, to you?
It helped me to realize that I could still reach greater heights. It at first it may have looked like, no, she wouldn't get it, because the naysayers and people, but we have to do this. So it meant a lot, especially for my granddaughter who's 14, and for her and I to go into the polls together, and for her to witness me voting for her, and then for her to win. It was great. It was great just for us together to have that. And to live with that for the rest of our lives together was meaningful. She could say, I went with my grandmother to vote for Kamala Harris.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm going to try to bring in a few more folks to join us. Looks like they're dropping off. They're coming in. They're dropping off. They're coming in. Having all kind of technical fun, and we're going to keep the fun going. I'm talking with Lori Wesby, Dr. Marita Alston, and Evangelist Karan Rice, among others that have joined us, talking about the power of sisterhood. And we're right at 9 o'clock, and I love it. Some things don't go right as you might want them, but as long as you get the power of sisterhood going, you're connected. And that's so right.
Thank you for putting this together, Marcus. This was nice to hear from other sisters in the community, and just, we're like I said, we're all in this thing together. So I love it.
Well, it's not lost on me that we got 77% women in love and stuff, right? So it's not lost on me for that. And then the 23% of us that are the men, we all got a boo, a bae, a mama, a sister, a TT, or somebody, right? So we should always be celebrating our women. And I don't think that is the narrative that we hear enough, especially our Black women. We are calling them other things, right? And sometimes they've been programmed to believe those things, which is where I want to go with this next section. But I'm also intentional, Laura, you and I have been talking about a sister space, right?
Mhm.
And so
Nice.
that's the next place I want to go. And really, because Lori is, I know her heart and she knows mine, not that nobody else doesn't. I'm kind of going to be looking to her to help to lead this sister space where, without regard, I mean, you all are doing an excellent thing to tell me is across, I don't know, I'm not in the fraternal order. So the Divine Nine and you all are crossing, boundaries, and that's great. I think that sets a good pathway for people who are not affiliated necessarily, or maybe not yet, because people still may want to, who are not affiliated, but still need that sister space. That we want to create, because there are so many women dealing with so many issues, and sometimes they believe that they're alone. And so what kind of community will we have if we don't make a place for people so that they aren't alone? And so that's how we get to up our love game. And so I was intentional and hoping that Lori would be able to be here, as well as everybody else. Dr. Marita, it's not lost on me that you are a psychologist. Sorry if you thought I was just our great friendship. I kind of said, yeah, but she's a psychologist, because we want all the resources. We want people who want to start their business. And we can talk to somebody when the business don't go exactly as they want to.
Right.
And they need somebody to preach to them. See, I got 3 people.
I'm looking for that business too.
Yeah, but really, it's about community, because as soon as Lori activates a new business, then the community has to stand up to support it, right?
Exactly.
It's really about community, and that's what we're hoping to be intentional about. So I'm so appreciative for your time. I want to ask you, my segue was, what do you then say to these sisters who don't have community? What do we say to them who feel like they are an island by themselves?
Yeah, that's a good question. And even professionally, what I do is kind of oversee an executive and peer mentoring program at our organization. And the first time this program piloted, these women who are, some of them, they're all business owners, but in non-traditional roles like construction and things like that, they all felt like they were on an island by themselves. They had no idea that some of these other women were even out here doing the same things. Through those kinds of relationships, I said mentorship matters, relationships matter. Just start talking to people. And find out what you have in common and where you can collaborate with each other, where you can, I can throw you some business, you can throw me some, we can work together to get a contract and work together on this kind, it's that kind of thing, but it starts with conversation.
Right.
And you have to just be willing to put yourself out there. And if you're an entrepreneur, that's what entrepreneurs do. They put themselves out there, and it's a very scary world when you think you're out there by yourself, especially as a woman, especially even more so as a Black woman in business. I'm here to help, so I want to open doors to people. I want to make sure people know the resources that are available to them.
Right.
Yeah.
And what I would suggest too is that, like you said, Lori, to come outside your comfort zone.
Yes.
To reach out. Because I've run into, I have had different women come to me and said, well, I was nervous to talk to other women. And what I say is, and what I told them was, we are here to help you, but we can't help you if we don't know you need help.
You can't read your mind.
Right. So if you just share a little bit, we'll catch on to that.
Yeah.
And then we'll just come to where you are. What I love doing, I love mentoring. I love, especially with me, making clinicians. I love when women come to me and say, well, can we talk about, should I go into social work? Should I go into therapy? Should I be a psychologist? I was like, look, this is what you do. And I sit down and I school them. And I'll say, do this if you want to work with this population. Do this if you want to do that. And I said, if you're going for your doctorate, know that the college purpose is not to make you a doctor. They don't want us as doctors. And so they're going to do everything they can to prevent you from getting to the end.
Yeah.
And so you need to be able to say, for X amount of time, family, friends, I'm not going to be around as much. I'm going to pull my support group around me, because you need a core support group while you're doing it, and make it your passion.
Yeah.
Whatever's your passion, then they can't knock you off of it. But their job is not to allow you to get to your D. That's the job.
Yeah.
So, but you gotta reach out to people and not be scared.
Yeah.
Or even if you are, still reach out.
Still reach out. Yeah, do it afraid.
Right.
We can before Evangelist Karan, see if we can get Andrea, who is from Queen Boss Business Organization, on with Jasmine. I see that your screen is there, but I don't see your face. So maybe from the switch from Zoom, you lost your camera. There we go.
There we go.
How are you?
I was letting the Fab Nine speak. I will not interrupt them, as I stand on their shoulders. So
All right.
I was letting you have that conversation. So I was waiting until I was introduced before I came.
Well, I appreciate that. So tell us a little bit about your organization. Of course, we know that you are part of the Love and Stuff community, and you've done tons of pageants. So tell us about your organization. And I got somebody maybe has getting feedback.
Yeah, so it's called Queen Boss Circle, and it's kind of a play on me being in pageantry. A lot of times, we as women, we don't put our crowns on. Crowns physically or in our minds, we don't put our crowns on. And the reason why we don't is because we either feel like we can't, we're not worthy, and that there's someone else that can speak for us. Well, you ladies just talked about nobody knows if you need help unless you speak up. And a lot of injury with book, fabulous female entrepreneurs here in Charlotte, North Carolina area, and we were taking from the community. We're asking people to buy our products. We're asking people to our vending events, our pop-up events here, there, and everywhere. And I did not see where we were giving information, education, encouragement, imagination, inspiration, ignitation. None of that stuff was coming back to the community. So we are so full of stuff, and we forgot to love. And I said to a group of women at one of my last events, I said, wouldn't it be nice if we had a group where women felt safe to sit and learn, where they didn't pay $10,000 a piece to be coached, where they didn't feel like somebody was going to try to sell them anything and everything, but where they could just express themselves and let their minds just dream. And that's how we came up with the Queen Boss Circle.
Wonderful. Now, is Jasmine Hall with you from the Queen Boss Circle?
Yes.
Okay, so Jasmine, if you can put your camera on so we can see you, Queen Boss, in the circle.
She's one of the Queen Boss Circle founders.
Okay, fantastic. I can hear you and I can see you now. Let me see if I can get you.
Hold on. Can you hear me okay now?
I can hear you now and I can see you.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
Actually, I know that Jasmine, I've expanded my brain. This is what I knew the circle could do. When you work together, when you collaborate and you come together, someone may have one thing and somebody else, and this is one of my something else people. So we have a lot coming up, not just Queen Boss Circle, but Youth Unleashed too. So I'm gonna let her talk.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for joining us.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes. So, Miss Andrea, we met at our vendor event. So we are Generational Wealth Educators, and we are a nonprofit based out in Charlotte, North Carolina. And so we are just kind of brand new. So we were founded in May of 2021. And so last year we took our time to just stabilize ourselves as an organization, kind of stand on our own 2 feet as far as raising money. So working at the Panther Stadium, and so we was able to raise about a little over 100,000. So now we're able to create our programs and implement and kind of I guess you can say, make our footprints on the community. And we are teaming up with BU Butterfly for our event coming up in October to showcase youth artists, youth singers, dancers, and so we're very big on the youth for sure. And so this past February, we had a youth entrepreneurship event where we gave out $1,000 grant. And so now we're kind of going into the Title I schools, partnering up with organizations in Harding High School, with Charlotte High School, teaching the children about entrepreneurship, following their dreams, following their passion, and just allowing me to live out my dream, which is teaching the youth how to do that. And so along with teaching the youth, educating their parents as well with our Wealth Builders program by providing first-time homebuyer courses, real estate investing, stock investing, Turo, Airbnb. So that is pretty much who we are. And I'm grateful to meet Miss Williams and team up with her, and grateful to meet you guys tonight as well.
Yeah, and thank you for that. I want to ask you, because you said you are doing education for the youth, which I think is phenomenal, excellent. When you were a youth, a younger person, whose shoulders are you standing on? What woman or sisterhood did you rely on to feed you?
I just had a very, very supportive mother, and I can just I'm very grateful for my mom, and as a single mother, and raising three girls, and we definitely did not make it easy. So just allowing her to give us guidance and give us love, and pushing us to be kind of self-sufficient and self-aware, and to follow our dreams. So definitely have to give that to my mom and my aunts for sure.
Fantastic. And Andrea, I'm going to double back to you. Whose shoulders are you standing on?
I am standing on every person who seeded into me, from my mother to my grandmothers. Both of them were strong black women in the church. The women of the church, women in the community, such as Sharon Dumas, and the other women that are around me that just told me, Andrea, pulled my coattail and said, you got something special. And sometimes you just need to hear that, because it's so many people who are telling you you're too loud, you're too much, you can't do that. That doesn't make sense. Why would you even try to do that? I mean, I know you all have heard this before. And it was something when I met, the reason why I partnered with Miss Jasmine here is when I came to her first event, the first person I was introduced, I think it was her sister who came up to me. And then it was her mother. Then it was her father. Then it was her godfather. Then it was her aunt. And everybody surrounded her. It was like, you see, it's such a blessing to see families work together. And then for her company, I did the event not knowing that was what that interaction was going to secure. Sometimes you don't want, you're not sure, what should I do? And I follow God. God told me to do this event. No matter what, do this event. And it was one of our most successful events. And you know why it was successful is because she cared about the people that was her vendors. And a lot of times, that was another thing. We have to, as a community, come together. And that's what I think we're lacking. A lot of people are not in the church anymore. So they're looking outside. And so without the Fab Nine or the Queen Boss Circle, or the Generational Wealth, or BU Butterfly, or Love and Stuff, where do these people go? They go to things that are maybe negative, or maybe events and space for others to do. So we can't just get, we have to give.
Yeah, I love that. And I want to go back to something that seems like it's kind of a consistent theme about the women that you all hearken to, that you are standing on their shoulders. A lot of you said your mothers. So I want to talk to you about, because there are sisters out there that don't have those relationships with their mothers, right? And so that maternal part is missing. And I believe the mother's love is God's kiss to the earth, that he will keep love going forever. That's what I believe. because even when your mother is on the other side, and Lori understands this, that her love is still welling up in you, right? But there are women out there, right, that don't have that. So talk to me a little bit about how we connect those women to the power of your stories and stories of women, so that they are engrafted and adopted into the sisterhood.
I think we just have to learn to tell our stories.
Right.
We have to share more in our own communities, with each other, and find the value in other people's journeys. Their path may not be the same as yours, but there are lessons that we all can learn along the way. And if we just, opened up to each other a lot more.
Right. I think also along with that, if we just do like what we did in the past, where we just open up our houses, our doors, we were a community again. I know that I have several friends who parents have deceased, and some younger swords that look to me as their mom because their mom is not there anymore. And so I try to be there for whenever they need something from me. I try to be available and reachable. And so if you're going to say you're going to do that, you have to do it. Sometimes we'll set up and say we're going to do X, Y, and Z, and then we don't show up. But we need to show up. You have so many women out there nowadays that are also hurting. COVID did a number on us. And so we're still hurting from that. We're hurting from the loss, not only of loved ones, but also of the time, because we lost a chunk of time out of our lives and not being able to say goodbye to our loved ones. So to be able to be there for them, and sometimes just to be there. It's not to give advice, not to do anything like that, but just be a listening ear, because sometimes people just need your shoulder to lean on and cry.
Yeah.
And
Karan, I want to come. Yeah, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
That's fine.
Okay.
That's it.
Karan, I wanted to bring you back in because you're a woman in ministry, and I know from your personal journey that has brought you a number of different types of challenges and areas of opportunity. So talk to me a little bit about being a woman in ministry and a sisterhood around women in ministry. Now I'm missing you. I don't know if anybody else is not hearing you. I'm not hearing.
I'm sorry, I have my mic off. That's an interesting question, because for me it hasn't been real received. Unfortunately, as you would think it would be. There are women that accept me for my gifts that God has for me, but there are others that, because they are ministering as well, I don't know if they feel threatened or whatever, but I found it very challenging to do what God has called me to do. And so I try to be humble, and then humble get you walked over at times. And so then when you are too loud or you speak up, then now you this, that. So it's almost like, where do you go? So I am really enjoying this conversations from today, because I'm strong in areas and weak in areas, but this sisterhood that we're talking about that we need tonight, it has made me stronger in areas to just let me know. And I'm taking it as confirmation that God has been telling me, just go, just do, and quit worrying about what someone else is going to say or do, because I've been muddling over that for the last couple weeks with some decisions that I have to make and am making. And so this was good. So thank you for that. Yeah, it hasn't been easy.
Yeah. And I thought of you as they were talking about that, because I think, having that space,
yes,
just to be able to say what you said does require vulnerability. And
absolutely.
Even though we say, just do it, it's tough sometimes when you want to strike out and be vulnerable with women that you don't know. Now, I know I'm going to get inboxes for this, because sometimes women cannot hold your business.
That's right.
There are men that are like that too, but sometimes you could tell the wrong person the right thing and regret it. So I know vulnerability would be difficult for you. what would you say? I'm going to go back to you, Lori. What would you say? Because you work with a lot of women who are jumping out there as entrepreneurs, which I know takes courage. And Jasmine, I know that takes courage. So what do you say to women who just don't feel that comfortable, especially as we heard Dr. Marita say, we're all still reeling from a pandemic of time that we lost and opportunities that we felt lost. How do you get yourself out there to be vulnerable?
I think one way is you've got to establish some boundaries of trust with people. And with the entrepreneurs that I work with, in the mentoring circles that I work with, we establish that what goes on in this circle stays in this circle. We are not competitive. Your business is not going to leave this session when you leave and meet you out in the streets. We are genuinely here to uplift and support, and that has to be established and understood by everyone in the room.
Right.
Especially from a professional standpoint, you can't afford to, have that lack of integrity amongst yourselves. And yeah, sometimes there are conflicts with people. I won't just say with women, I'll say with people. Right? It's not just us. Men have their issues as well. Okay, so we talk a lot more than than the guys do, but at the end of the day, we do that, I think, because we want to be heard. We want somebody to listen, not to respond, but listen to hear exactly what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And maybe you have a similar experience that you can share with me that I can learn from and learn how to address what's going on in my life, right now. So we just have to kind of take a step back and realize, you're not alone, but you're also not the only one in the room. Everybody has a voice that needs to be heard, and let's give everybody the floor sometimes, and let's be people of integrity and leave it here. That just matters, and it makes things so much easier going forward. It is hard if you don't have that background or foundation, right? But if you got goals in mind that you have to meet, that you have to reach,
Yeah.
you got to do it.
Got to do.
Yeah,
Right. Can I add to that?
of course.
Sure.
Yes. So you kind of asked about, I guess, young entrepreneurs stepping out and kind of keeping it going. And I guess I can say my COVID experience, I had a COVID baby. So my son was born March 5th, 2020. So a week before the shutdown. And so at that time, I actually had to just move back to my mom's house from, just dealing with a 10-year relationship of emotional and psychological abuse. So during that time, saying moving back to my mom's house. And I also had at that time a 3-year-old daughter. So I found myself kind of in a room where I don't know, it's hard to describe, right? But it was kind of, my daughter was sitting, she was kind of asleep on my lap, and my son was moving in my stomach, and I was just sitting in a room that was kind of engulfed in like flames. It feels, I know it sounds crazy, but I was hurting, and so I had to go
I
back
think
to
we all
therapy.
feel you.
Right. So I had to go back to therapy and kind of find myself and heal and understood like who I am, right? Because up to that point, I didn't know who I was. I didn't have self-worth or good self-worth. My self-esteem was not that good. So I was in relationships that did not serve me, sleeping next to my enemy. And so going back to therapy, I was able to, I don't know, then it was like another day where my son now, he's kind of sitting up, and my daughter, she's kind of dancing out around the room. But I felt peace and butterflies, and so it took that time for me to find myself and find my self-worth and find my purpose and find who I was and develop a solid foundation outside of what society told me, who I was, outside of what anybody had to say. And so it really took that for me to kind of step out and say, okay, I got to do this for me, you know. And then now that's when it took for me to, at that point, I paid off all my debt, my car, credit card debt, saved up money, bought myself a triplex. So now my children and I, we live in one unit and we rent out the other 2 units, and that covers my mortgage. And I've since then bought 3 other homes. And now, you know, I started the foundation to teach people how to do the same thing. So I think that being around people that have an understanding and can give you grace is the key as far as entrepreneurship, because if I did not have that support from my family and just the people that would surround me, I'm not sure where I would be today. And also just recognizing that I needed help. At the end of the day, it took for me to kind of going back to therapy, because I found myself being bitter and enraged and angry, and you know, that was a long story, but that's pretty much how that helped me kind of, it was the catalyst. And it's not really entrepreneurship, it's just, you know, doing what I love and creating the life that I wanted to create for myself and my children. So
yeah. I think it's an important story, and I'm so glad you shared it, especially in Women's History Month, where really the theme was about telling the stories of women who tell stories. But I kind of did a spin on that because I think women need to hear, as you heard Lori say earlier, if you heard her say it, that women need to tell their stories. And that story right there could be freeing to someone, Jasmine, who needs to understand what resilience is all about. Sometimes people are beat into the ground and don't believe that they can bounce back. And you sharing that story helps people to understand that you absolutely can. I mean, you said sleeping next to the enemy. I'm like, did somebody else already say that? Can I steal that line? Sleeping next to the enemy. And then, you know, now you are owning other properties.
Creating generational wealth. I love that.
Things, right? So it's amazing, an amazing story. So I'm glad that you thought enough on this platform to share it with us. And I think it's the kind of story that we need to share and tell. So thank you for that. We're at 9:28. I want to give everybody 2 minutes to come back around. And I want to ask this. You talked about the power of sisterhood and kind of from the lens of your mothers and some of the women whose shoulders you stood on and are standing on. I just want you to take these 2 minutes and talk about one of 2 things. You get your choice. One, another woman in history who you admire and why. So that's 2 minutes. So you get to choose that or one. Or what is the legacy of sisterhood that you want to leave in this world? So you get to choose one or the other and take 2 minutes to do that, please.
So I'm going to speak up because I haven't spoken in a minute. The legacy I want to leave is that because I did it, you can too. And I want women to understand that we have been broken down, torn apart. But we're so much stronger than people give us credit for. We're the only vessel that a baby can come through. And we have to be broken and torn apart and pulled apart for that child to be birthed. And that is just how your dream and that baby, that business, you're going to have to cultivate that business. You may need somebody to babysit that business. That's called, I need help and collaborators. You need a village to help you raise that business. You need a mentor to help you elevate in that business. So those are the things that I want to leave on this earth, that because I did it, because I set it up, because I said it, because I showed you by example, that other women, other children will see that they can do it too. That I opened up a space, and I seen that with so many women that we can name names. I won't even start because I'll forget somebody. But there's a lot of people who sacrifice a lot of things, and that's what we are here to do, is to sacrifice for the next. We're not just supposed to be here to take from the environment. We're supposed to leave something in the environment. And so what I leave today is to be great. Be you. Be you. Butterfly. Be every unique butterfly you were meant to be from the start. And if you keep that in mind, you will transform from crawling to walking to flying.
Fantastic.
I think she summed it up.
I just wanted to add. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
There was one part of the story that I kind of left out, and that was kind of the catalyst that made me leave. And this is kind of the legacy that it's a long story, but just listen. So the first time that I heard God's voice, I was laying in my bed, again, pregnant. And I was telling myself, why does my life have to be this way? Why is my life this way? Right? I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm broke. My car is not here, I'm alone. And it was the first time I heard God's voice. And he said it doesn't have to be. And that's all it took for me I literally left the next day. I woke up, went to the park, walked around, came back, dried my eyes, and I left. And that's because it does not have to be, right? A lot of us kind of be in these situations where we feel stuck, or we feel, why does my life have to be this way, right? But it doesn't. So I guess the legacy is it doesn't have to be. And I'm gonna close at that.
Thank you so much.
I would like to say the one part, leaving a legacy from standing on the shoulders of my grandmother, the love that they did exhibit, because somewhere down the line in the generation, love was lost, or love got twisted. So back to the true love. And that's what had me raising my granddaughter, so she didn't wind up in the system. So she'll know that there's true love there, despite what goes on from her father or her mother's side. The love I'm getting through the sisterhood is bringing me closer with my natural sisters, because the love is just different. And so now I'm transcending it different, learning how to just love differently. And I want that to be my legacy, that I loved everybody unconditionally.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
I'll just say this. I'll say I want my legacy to be that I designed a life that gives me purpose, fulfillment, and joy, and impact. I want to make sure that I am impacting, Marcus, that I departed voluntarily from a very wonderful corporate career to do something in the nonprofit space that would make a difference in the lives of my community. That was a passion of mine. And it's funny because I found myself throughout my whole career always volunteering with certain organizations and causes, always involved. That's again that service part is really genuine and authentic to me. But I made a decision to take that leap to go full time into work that mattered, and I have never been happier. I love what I do. I love why I do it. I love working with my clients, and they love me. And I'm like, it just doesn't get any better than that. And so design a life. Let that be an example. Design a life that brings you joy and fulfillment and impact and peace. Right?
Yes.
So that's it for me.
Yeah.
I think for me, the legacy I would like to leave is basically just to be able to be known that I have helped someone along the way, and that I am a person that has encouraged people, in that I am there for you. Um, I don't have children of my own, but I have children. And I love that. I love that they are there for me and I have been there for them. I want them to know that they can be whatever they want to be. I want them to know that no matter what somebody else says you can't do, unless God Himself says you can't do it, you can do it. The sky is not the limit. The sky is part of the goal. So just keep going. Okay. I just want to be that person. And to be all honest, there are times where in the past I did not believe that I would be doing the things that I do now. I remember the time that I was the shy person that would not go in front of people, that would not speak in front of people, would not talk in front of people. But I teach classes at Baker College. I'm the clinical supervisor in Macomb County, community mental health, sign language interpreter in front of thousands. But I never saw myself that in the past. But people fed into me and said, you can. You can. And that's what my legacy, I want to be able to say, yes, you can do this. Just keep doing it, and then get your village to be around you. Because back in the day, we had villages everywhere. And we just need to recreate those again. And that's what I would love. I would love to be a part of the space for women, Marcus. I think that's a beautiful idea.
Yeah. I think it's a beautiful idea too, even though it's an idea that came to me really, not just because Lori's here. It came to me as I was talking to her, because Lori, as she so modest, Lori does volunteer work with women who have experienced breast cancer, survivors and angels, for years. And I've admired how she's always been the kind of person that pitches in to help women. And she happened to be on a show. You know, I cajoled her as I do all of you, but she's just nicer about it. And after just listening to her, I mean, I listened to her. She's a great singer. She's a hilarious person. She loves to bake good cakes sometimes for me. Not so much since the pandemic, but I got the chance to just sit back as the host and really listen to her. Sometimes you're listening to somebody that you know, but you don't really understand the magnitude of what they're telling you. And the idea dropped on me. I said, Lori, I think we need to do a sister space. That's where the idea came from. She was so impactful talking about the work of helping women go through breast cancer, which we know for African American women is twice as horrible, if I can use the word, twice as hard going through that situation. And it just landed on me. People need a space. I'm working with the brothers on the brother space, but brothers have a different, we have a different orientation around vulnerability, right? So it's a little bit more legwork. But I said, wow. I said, Lori, would you be interested? And she said, yeah, I would. Yeah, tell me more. And I felt like I had her heart there because she's a giver and she's a person, as she said, born in service, and just service is her thing. So Dr. Marita, I would love it. You know, however this will happen for the Love and Stuff community, I would be so excited. The community will be your sponsor, but you will do your thing. I'm really believe in letting people have the space that need the space. And I believe there are women today that need this space to know that they can be before you even do, you can be. So I'm so excited for the opportunity, and I'm excited at 9:40 that all of you have been on, some of you since 8:00.
Right. I'm supposed to be asleep.
and hung in there through our twist and turn. So I really appreciate that. And I believe that this has been a great month. We again have 77% of women in the Love and Stuff community. So we'll never stop celebrating women. But we want the women in the Love and Stuff community to know that there are some great women, not just good women. There are some great, amazing women within our community who are saying to you, there'll be a safe space. And I think if love is going to increase in the world, we have to create safe spaces for people to come, be themselves, find themselves, and elevate themselves.
Mhm.
So I want to thank all of the wonderful ladies of the Divine Nine, or as Andrea says, the Fabulous Nine. I want to thank the other sister organizations that joined us tonight. And we'll keep this conversation going. Women's history continues to move forward with each of you. And I'm so proud to be connected to you, and so proud that you would think it not robbery to be with Love and Stuff community tonight. Thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate you all. Thank you so much.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you for having me and letting me be a part of this. This was awesome.
It was
It's been a
awesome.
dream. Yeah, it was a dream that I came up with Queen Boss Circle, and this is like it's magnified because I didn't get to do my event. It's coming up. We're doing it in 2 months. We had to postpone it, and this just gave me the opportunity to experience what the vision I had. So it just encouraged me. I don't know if anybody else, but it encouraged me to keep going.
Yeah,
I'm
lots of
encouraged.
confirmations and connections. I love it. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Marcus, I want to congratulate you on Love and Stuff. I really want you to know that staying grateful and understanding the power of what it is to be operating out of a space of abundance and gratitude is the most important part of every journey of every day. So Marcus June, congratulations on this book. It's on Amazon now. That makes me so proud of you and your family and me and my family, and every single person around us gets it. So good on you for bringing it into the hands and the laps and the Kindles of all the people. Okay, so we're gonna check it out. Can't wait to learn more.
Thank you, MJ from Shires of Sunset. I figured I would close with another woman who is on an authentic journey, and that was MJ, if you've ever followed Shires of Sunset. So thank you so much. The Gratefulness Journey Every Day is available on Amazon. And while I'm showing books, our own Valencia Etner, who is a part of the Love and Stuff community, who just completed her public presentation for her doctoral work, is now going to be Dr. Valencia Etner, and she is the author of a book, Little Fires Everywhere, Pandemic, Protests, Politics, and Power. It is available for you. I hope that you will get it, and congratulations, Valencia. We're so very proud of you and so pleased of your hard work, and it just helps to bolster all of the love in the Love and Stuff community. What about you? Are you standing on the shoulders of a great woman? Maybe it was your mother. Maybe it was your grandmother, your TT. Maybe it was your godmother. Maybe it was that special woman down the street, and she's imparted in you that you can do and be anything. You're still being called to be that person, right? Even though we have been siloed and maybe sometimes stationed by a pandemic, we have the opportunity to stand on the firm, broad, powerful, beautiful shoulders of great women. So as you continue throughout this year, let women's history propel you forward. And if you don't have that woman, you didn't have that mother, you didn't have that grandtee, you didn't have that sister, the Love and Stuff community is going to be unveiling a sister space so that you can get the kind of love that's going to increase your momentum to become the very best that you can be. I'm Marcus Holmes. I'm the Love Activist. And whether you're watching us on LinkedIn Live or Facebook Live, Twitch TV, Twitter, or YouTube events, I want you to know that you're not alone in this world, that you're connected to us through love. And it's time for you, my friend, to walk in the fullness of love and be all that you have been created to be. The world is waiting for you to do it. And it's time to be vulnerable, as you've heard tonight, and tell your story. Give voice to your story, and you'll honor women's history and women of old and new as you go forward to empower the world with the unique gift of you. Have a great evening, and we will hear from you and see you soon. Join us tomorrow with Darren Williams at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Love and the Scriptures right here on the Love and Stuff community page. And then on Saturday at 11 a.m., join Kamau and Felix with Sports Talk with Kamau and Felix. These are two fellows who love everything sports. And if you're interested in learning anything, ladies, about sports, or fellas, you want to bring your girl so that she can understand sports and you all can have good fun time in the halftime, tune in Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love and Stuff. We're excited to have you here. Have a grateful evening.